Any other councilors for the second time?
Council President for the second time.
Councilman Canoia.
Couple comments, further comments, if you will. With respect to Mr. Russo's response, I respect his constraints he's under, I get it. However, from my perspective, we could have easily had an email back that said, A, the increase in the price is not acceptable, we don't have the authorization, just as he communicated here verbally, we could have easily put in an email. B, with respect to the financing, I do financing all the time. That's an area I'm somewhat familiar with. And I understand to a degree what he's talking about, but quite frankly, it's no different. Invenergy needs to be able to sit down across the table and have a discussion with us and explain why this limit can't be there because of financing. You can flip it the other way and say they can explain it to the people that are going to invest and provide them financing and explain why it's perfectly logical, rational, and acceptable. It works both ways, but nonetheless. And then with respect to the provision I put in there that the City Council would determine the location, again, I wasn't trying to be difficult, but I get very uncomfortable having an agreement that doesn't spell that type of thing out, because right now we don't know where this trucking terminal can go. And I'm going to remind some folks about an incident that I was involved in. I was on a water advisory committee, and we cited a water treatment plant up off Jolson Ave in the city of Woonsocket. And I took a lot of heat for it, and I'm fine with taking heat. But here's what the mayor said back in July of 2014 about the locations. He said that decision and its impact on the life of the neighborhood affected should be weighed carefully. Who will be inconvenienced, whose quality of life will be changed, and whose property values will be affected. So I share her concerns. We've got to consider all these things. During the election, there was this little flyer that went out, and it said, "Hi neighbors. I attended the meeting at Vernon Heights School to voice my opinion against the plant in our neighborhood. The constant traveling of large trucks along the street will ruin our neighborhood and compromise the safety of our children."
Point of order, Council President.
No, go ahead.
I don't feel this is relevant to the agreement. The agreement that we are voting on.
I'm explaining.
The agreement, I'm sorry, the resolution that we have on the table. I don't feel that it's relevant.
Well, Councilman, can I just make sure it connects to...
It is. I'm explaining why the comment is in the agreement.
Okay.
And it said, I spoke to Mayor Baldelli Hunt. She was on our side. She tried to stop this from happening. And they said, let's send a message to prevent more problems like this. Let's assure they got elected. So my point is, I was involved in a situation where people in the community got very upset and very concerned about trucks traveling through their neighborhood. So I did not want to leave that as an open-ended item. That's all. That's the reason I put that in there. Again, not to be difficult. The other thing is, you know, we're sitting here having a discussion saying, let's enter into an agreement, because it's not us that's going to decide whether or not a power plant goes into Barville. And that's absolutely true. So we potentially get ourselves comfortable and say, listen, I'm willing to do this agreement. It's not on me to decide whether or not the power plant goes in. That's up to the Energy Facility Siting Board. So it's okay to enter the agreement, let them make that decision. If they say no, no problem, nothing ventured, nothing gained. If they say yes, at least we'll get some money. Well, maybe we ought to flip this whole thing around and say, we'll pause, we won't enter any agreement. Let the Energy Facility Siting Board do their work, and let them potentially approve a power plant pending a water source. In other words, let them, the Energy Facility Siting Board, do their job. They have the resources, they have the expertise. Let them figure out if there really is a health impact. Let them figure out if the water quantities that Invenergy is suggesting they need, which are fairly limited, let them determine if all that's true, and then they can say, yes, approved, pending a source of water. Then they can come back to Woonsocket or Johnson or whomever they want, and we can have that discussion. I don't know why we have to do something, quite frankly, as I think about this. We're being asked to hurry up and negotiate an agreement, and we don't even know if the plant's going to go in. So we're going to do something that only is operable pending a decision by the siting board. Or let the siting board make a decision that approves something that's pending our decision, if you follow what I'm saying. So, that's it, thanks.
Any other councilor for the second time?